These are the elderberry branches that I cut, trimmed, and potted in January. It is now March. I placed these in straight water. I placed these in water with a little bit of soil, and I placed these in, if you can see that, some soil, and just kept them moist. We had virtually 100% sprouting. I don't think I see any at all that did not sprout. So they're very prolific. They've come out really well. Now we just need to transplant them. If you look, we do have some they all have some kind of roots starting. They should transplant and grow pretty well. And now I'm going to give you an example of some that I placed in straight in the soil as well. Okay, now we're back to the area where we transferred the elderberry last year. These are some of the older plants. You can see they're coming up here. Got a lot of chickweed growing. Some henbit, both of which are edible. Some coming up from the roots. Now, I put a lot of these in the ground, but our donkey got in here and knocked over almost all of them. Some are taking off real well. Seeing others here taking off. But I think it's going to fill in pretty nicely. Might be hard to see on the video. This, obviously being a bigger one, is from last year where we had pruned it back. Again, it's starting to bud, and there's a lot of them that are budding out, that you can see. We did go back well after the fact and stick some of these the cuttings back in the ground, but you know, some are working, some aren't. Here's the one plant I'm using. If I can back up and see it, it's well, taller than me. This is me reaching up to about 7 feet. So this guy is probably going to fill in quite a bit. We'll trim it next year, but I'm going to use it kind of as a control to see how that does compared to these other ones as far as fruiting. I don't know how well it's going to fruit. Just not having that couple of years of growth since we just transplanted some of these last year. So I'll show you one other area real quickly. Oh, by the way, here's the culprit right here. Buttercup. Buttercup, you been eating in that garden? You find your way through there? She thinks just because the sign says welcome that it means her, but that's for people. Okay, baby? She doesn't know. All right, we're gonna go to the front. I've got a raised bed that we're gonna look at real quickly, and just look at a few others where you can see a better sprouting rate. Here's the front bed. This is probably 20 foot long, about 4 foot deep. Now these guys, everywhere I stuck a stick, a cutting in the ground, they're sprouting. And so without having donkeys run through and knock stuff over and nibble at them, you can see that they're pretty prolific. This is also, you know, it's pretty deep soil. It's a good, at least 18 inches. Elderberry does sprout up from the roots all over the place. You can see some coming in here, just like these cannas, which tubers are also edible on the cannas. But they'll grow underground and then boom, pop up. So these guys are coming up, can be transplanted, and I've got plenty to start some more, giving some to friends, etc. But The problem with the elderberry is they grow so tall. This is head level about right here, so that's close to 7 to 8 foot across there. They'll get that tall by the end of the growing season or more, so we'll have to trim them back. They're going to be covering up our porch. They just don't look good. So we've got an alternative. We just ordered some evergreen huckleberries that we're going to put in here, and that's going to provide some food as well as an evergreen bush to hide this ugly block wall, which I haven't covered with bricks or blocks or rock yet. But that, you know, if we do get a nice shrub across here, I think we can go without putting rock here, so that's going to save us a little bit of money there. The plants will be cheaper, they'll be evergreen, so we'll have a nice shrub that'll fill this section in, but also giving us some food. And in the long run, that'll be a little cheaper, and it'll still dress that out a little bit where, you know, from the front everything will be full and terraced and give that depth, so that ought to look pretty good.